Hi, Divas. I hope you had an amazing week since we last talked. You're listening to Diva Wears at Less. I'm your host, Dildar. Perhaps your favorite Uyghur girl online? I'm everywhere podcasts, YouTube vlog, social media. But I'm glad I have you here in the long form podcast together because this is a real hang, especially in today's cozy audio episode. And yes, moving forward, I think you will see some audio episodes here and there. I think it's better to have these than breaking the consistency momentum. And once you break that, I've learned it the hard way. It's really hard to come back from it. But when you are on the momentum, you need to ride with it. I actually recently fell out of my workout streak, and today is my first day back at working out. I'm glad I'm finally starting that over again, but it's so hard once you fall off to come back in. This episode, we're going to talk about some good old stories like the old time back in the 1001 Nights of Lessons days. Now, Diva Wears at Less is more of a self-development and cultural focused podcast with the at less in the name. I'm putting much more emphasis to share more of my Uyghur culture and also highlighting diverse guests from Central Asia, everywhere from the world to share their voices and stories. You will see more of that. That is a big new DNA of Diva Wears at Less. But still, I want to bring back the story time. I've been thinking a lot about things that I have lost in my life. You see, I have a super curse or superpower. Super curse is more accurate. I am expertly good at losing things. Actually, in fact, today I was working at a coffee shop and I left my pouch of chargers in the coffee shop. This is like daily occurrence for me. And most recently, I lost my camera in the Houston trip, my Sony G7 camera with the DJI audio set. I have to buy a new camera and new audio set. Total loss equals to $1,000. I'm just trying to prove a point that I lose things a lot. I had been fed up with myself every time when I lose something important. I would be good for a while and then forget about the pain of losing that thing and the monetary loss because with money it comes and goes and you kind of just forget about it. Back to the most expensive loss recently, the cameras. Once I've lost that, I bought myself 8 AirTags. Right now, everything I own that is worth of anything, whether it's sentimental value or monetary value, has a tag in it. Starting from my journal, I bought a really cool leather journal pack from Paper Republic. I put a little AirTag in it. My keys have an AirTag. My camera has an AirTag. I found a pouch and attached it to the camera. It's just dangling. I don't care how inconvenient, I need to have it on. The new camera that I bought the DJI Somo camera with the gimbal. I'm not allowing myself to buy any more fancy camera like the Sony ones I had before. Every time when I lose something, I kind of punish myself of buying that thing again because I told myself I don't deserve it. Or if I really need the thing that I lost, I would downgrade myself to a cheaper version of it. That's what I did with the camera. The other punishment that I applied, this one is one of the most heartbreaking things that I lost. The first time my dad came to the US and visited me, he brought with him a bunch of gold jewelry as a gift because my family misses me so much and I don't own anything really gold. So they thought as a woman, I should have some gold jewelry as an heirloom type of thing. They spent their hard-earned money, bought me rings, necklace, all of them lost within a span of a year. Now you're shaking your head. Me too, girl. I didn't do it deliberately. I swear it's not like I don't cherish things. I'm not grateful or anything like that. My heart broke. I couldn't even tell them. How I lost those jewelry is because I go to different yoga classes a lot or some sort of class. And in hot rooms, the jewelry really bothers me. Or when I'm showering, I just take it off and forget about it. I guess a new habit I learned to enforce is that don't wear jewelry to workout classes. Eventually, I finally told them, hey, I lost all the jewelry. They were very, very disappointed in me. And so the second time my dad came, they didn't bring nothing. Okay. I also told them too, don't buy me gold jewelry. I don't deserve it. So that's the punishment. I do not deserve gold jewelry. What happens if I do get married one day? If I do, honestly, I can't really picture myself doing that right now, even though I'm 30. A woman with commitment issue, women in men's field. Okay, it's not that I have commitment issue. I just am so busy right now. It's not my time. Like, what can I do? Yeah, going back to a potential wedding ring. I know I'm gonna lose it. What am I gonna do if I have a wedding ring one day? So like, I'm not gonna have one is what I come to conclusion with, because if I do, I will lose it. I don't even have to worry about that because that is a hypothetical situation. I will worry about that when I cross that bridge. I really envy those people who have an extensive collection of jewelry. That's so chic to me. And because I have the super curse of losing things, my collection is now I just have what I have now that I haven't lost yet. So that is the goal, is to also become one of those people. After this episode, I will, okay? I promise you. If you look at my Amazon history over a span of a couple months in a year, you will see items repeatedly being purchased because I bought it and I lost it. I bought it and I lost it. With my helmets, keyboards, things like that. Last year, another heartbreaking thing that I lost before the camera was my car key. My Medusa Abdulexis car key. Medusa Abdulexis is the full name of my car. It's an expensive thing to lose. I don't even want to think about that right now. Lucky me, I attached the car key with keys and my AirPods, so I lost my AirPods too at that time. I'm in disbelief. I went through the grief of losing things so many times. I go through stages of all grief, from like denial to anger to acceptance over and over again, to a point now I'm just so detached from my material things to protect my nervous systems. Nowadays, like when I lose something, I'm very calm because I'm so used to it. But let me tell you, one of my early memories of losing something that I love. Hi Divas, quick little break from the episode so I can let you know beginner Uyghur language course is fully open for enrollment. You can go sign up right now on 1001nightsoflessons.com. It is an 8 weeks long beginner speaking focused course that I've designed for you. A little bit of language, a little bit of culture, lots of time to practice and interact with the community together. It will be so much fun and I can't wait for our Uyghur cultural journey together. The class will officially begin on March 14th onwards. Every week we'll meet over Zoom. I can't wait to see you in class. Now, back to the episode. This is when I was in middle school. I've been telling my dad that I wanted a bike. I've been yapping my dad's ear, I want a bike, I want a bike, I want a bike. Finally, one morning, I remember that moment so clearly. My dad woke me up. I remember him telling me, get dressed, we're gonna go get you a bike. And it was one of the happiest day of my life. I got dressed. We took the bus to the bike market. I got my eye on a white bike. I still remember that bike. It was totally white, beautiful, sleek, skinny, that kind of vibe. I loved it. And I didn't want to get that bike because I know it was one of the more expensive bikes in there. I know exactly how much it was. It was 400 yuan. Wow. That's $40. So it's not that expensive. But hey, at the time, to me, to my family, it is, okay? I just was so happy my dad was willing to buy that for me. He didn't even negotiate. He's like, my daughter like that, let's get it. For me, in that moment, I'm gonna cry. When I think about that bike, I still want to cry. That moment, what it embodied for me was my dad's love. It was such a special day. I was so happy. I couldn't wait to ride on it. So I told my dad to go home. I'm going to go to library. So I'm just going to take the bike to go straight to the library instead. He said, okay, enjoy. He bought me a lock on the spot and he left. I went to the normal library that I go to. I looked at all the bikes that were locked right in front of the library. There's a designated spot. This is what I told myself. I was like, it's so like out in the open. What if someone steals it? And then I started to look for a hidden spot to lock my bike so that no one will see it and no one can damage it and no one can steal it, because I'm just like so extra excited about the bike. So I locked it on the side of the building in an alleyway, and I went inside the library. I was inside for about 3-4 hours studying for an exam. When I'm done, I get out. And you know where this story is going. I don't see the bike. My heart dropped. I was in disbelief. Someone cut through my lock, my chain, and stole my bike on the very first day that I got it. Can you imagine? And then I started to like run around frantically like a crazy person, looking for my bike nearby, talked to the library people. They didn't help. And I cried and called my dad. He told me to file a police report. I have to walk on foot on the highway to the police station to report my bike. Mind you, I was 9th grade filing this report at a police station. That police station experience was really cool because imagine me, a 9th grader, sitting at the waiting room, and I'm witnessing people being handcuffed and pressed inside a detention center. There's all kinds of like suspects or victims all around me, right? They all have something devastating happening to them. And we're all crying together. And they're like, what happened to you? And I'm like, I lost my bike. The policeman took me to an interrogation room. And I saw like the camera set up and everything. It's like a proper interrogation room. And he was asking me, okay, you're filing this report. Like, tell me, like, what's the value of your bike? And I said, it was 400 yuan. And the second I said that, I saw the policeman drop the pen on the report and crossed his arms and what else? And I am just wiping my tears. I'm like, but it means so much more to me. It means the love of my dad. He just bought it for me this morning. You don't understand. It was comical now that I think about it. That happened. I went back home. I just remember sitting on that sofa, leather sofa of my childhood home, crying for hours, bawling for hours. And my parents, I just didn't even know what to do with myself. They're telling me it's okay, telling me it's not a big deal, so much worse could happen. Something really strange happened after that. For about a year or two after that, I was so traumatized, I think. Every time when I see a white bike on the street back home, I would chase after it until the memory of my bike in my brain faded so much that I'm not even sure I could identify it if I do actually see it up close. I gave up this habit. A lot of times these white bikes I chase after were so much faster than me. It's just me running after a bike for no reason for a while and giving up. And after that, if I were to think of another sentimental experience, memory similar to this one, it would be when I lost my camera in Morocco. With camera and phones, when you lose them, it's all photos. You care about the photos inside the most. They are invaluable. For me, the camera that I lost in Morocco, it signifies my entire chapter in Morocco, that gap year I took in my early 20s, which defined like who I am today, actually. That 1 year was so pivotal. Actually, to be fair, I didn't just lose the camera, it was stolen. I found a job and my boss was kind enough to offer me housing with the job. When I am going back the last few months in Morocco, I am just selling everything in my apartment. That was my first bachelorette apartment. I had a 2-bedroom apartment all to myself. I told everyone in the neighborhood, all my friends and my neighbors, to take what they need for their house, and I'm selling all of my belongings for very, very affordable Facebook Marketplace style, except it was just kind of word of mouth. People coming to my house, grabbed their things, we did transactions, and they went out. I was so careless that someone just took the camera from the floor. I left it on a pile of clothes. That was quite devastating because right now what I can rely on for most of my Moroccan stories are a few photos I can recover from my iCloud phone. That's just very little. There were so much more amazing artistic photos I took, mind I say, inside of the desert, of the scenes of my life in that period. It's all gone. But you know what's still here? My memory. So I better journal about that year a little bit more so I can remember it. So that's another sentimental loss, which I'm sure you have experienced with your phones. Thank God for iCloud. You got to get that thing synced and working at all time and pay for the upgrade because it's worth it. Now, let's talk about the story of most ridiculous thing I have lost. It's so ridiculous that it's humanly impossible to lose, and I still managed to lose it. This is the story about the time when I lost my sewing machine. You heard that right. A whole ass sewing machine. Let's start from why I decided to buy a sewing machine to begin with. I briefly touched on it when I reviewed the book Lean Startup. I had a startup idea. While I was doing yoga, I keep slipping, right? I had this genius idea of anti-slip grippy yoga pants. I thought that the first step of starting that business is learning how to sew, which was such a wrong way to go about it. We obviously know why. That would just take a decade of practice to be able to have a prototype. But I'm still grateful that I had that idea, which in turn led me to my new skill, which is sewing. I got sidetracked and I picked up this new hobby. So that period of my life, I was bringing sewing machine with me everywhere to different workshops that I can find to learn how to sew, and it was really effective. I've sewed so many things since then, so I'm really grateful for this failed startup idea. I need to get back into it though. I have so many things I need to patch and fix and sew. And this sewing machine, I just got it too. And the second workshop, I took the sewing machine too. I finished the workshop, it was great. I put the sewing machine in the back of my trunk and I went grocery shopping. I went back with all the bags of groceries. The sewing machine is just in the way. So I took the sewing machine, put it down in the parking lot garage to make space and put back all of my grocery bags, right? I slammed the truck of my door, drove away, left the sewing machine, sad and alone in the parking lot out in the open. I didn't even realize I did that after a week or two. So by that time, when I called and asked, nobody has seen the sewing machine. So I've lost that. And you know, sewing machines are not cheap. That's another $200-$300. I always tell people, if all the things I've lost in my life can come back to me, I'm pretty sure I will be a millionaire. No, that's not true. I mean, like close to it, you know, much more wealthy than I am now in terms of material things. That's also why I don't tend to buy too much stuff anymore, because I also know that I'm going to lose them anyway. And it better really mean something to me a lot when I buy them. Compared to most normal people, I would say I'm very minimalist, not by choice, because I keep losing everything. So now I'm a minimalist. You guys, that's it. Those are the stories of things I've lost, my traumatic memories. Lastly, don't worry, okay? I am working on this. I'm actively trying to be better, but I think the true change is gonna come when I fix the root cause of the problem, which is being more present and mindful, managing my ADHD perhaps, not being constantly on your devices or watching a show all the time in the background or listening to a podcast all the time wherever. I am so severely addicted to that, and that is really the root cause why I'm just leaving everything behind. And the other layers, sometimes when we're so stressed and flustered, that happen, and maybe that's part of the reason. And at last, what we can hold on to, and the most important things, are memories we had in this lifetime and the people we love. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you liked today's storytime episode, a little yapping sesh, and let me know what is the most precious thing you have lost. I would love to hear your story as well in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, and if you like today's episode is quite an anomaly, but if you like the podcast, you can give a 5-star reviews to the podcast on Spotify, Apple, and I'll see you next week. Next week, it's a guest episode, so stay tuned for that. Bye-bye.